are back, folks. Welcome to the Cavalry Sports Edition with our special guest, Josh Sneed.
Oh my goodness! Look at you,
Johnny.
I know,
a super fan.
And Brewers.
I like to do video gags on our audio podcast all the time.
Sometimes you do it so often. Sometimes I'm like, is it even worth explaining to the listeners, or should we just? They all just assume they're missing out.
Yeah.
On the big.
I think it's great. Don't they get to watch a little on Patreon or something, or no? Do you guys
Yeah,
not
you can
save
watch
the
on
video?
YouTube. Yeah, you can.
All right.
Everyone can watch on YouTube. It just so
It's worth checking out just for
Yeah.
that.
do it, everybody.
I gotta take off the hat because it's too small on my head.
Did you buy all that stuff at the stadium?
No, this hat I've had for years. I've had since before I moved to LA. But this jersey, they gave these out.
Wow.
We got there. How stupid are we? We got there like 2 hours early because they're like, for the first 35,000 fans.
The stadium only holds 34,000.
So we get there super early. They have tons. They like.
Meanwhile, they're like cutting those up for toilet paper in the third inning.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh man.
I've done.
So for those who can't see, he's decked out in Milwaukee Brewers garb because I'm a massive Reds fan, and he went to the game yesterday, which the Brewers did lose to the Reds 2 out of 3 over the weekend.
They played a bunch of times.
Yeah, can you believe that?
Johnny,
Wait, so when did they? So
wait,
you
can
you
you
watched
introduce Johnny? Can you introduce our guest at least, please?
Yeah,
Some
it's Josh
decorum here.
Sneed, the Cincinnati Reds fan extraordinaire, fantastic comedian. So this is interesting because this is like both times I met you guys. Well, Andrew, you and I kind of discovered it on the ship, and we had known each other. But me and Josh, when we first met in Tampa, we felt like we were kindred spirits, like we had very parallel lives, much like me and you. We both had the pug.
That's right.
Similar age kid.
And Andrew, we met in Aspen, right? Was that the first time we met?
I think so. I think that might have been it. And that was like the Aspen Comedy Festival, but way past its relevance.
Right.
Because it used to be the HBO Aspen Festival, and then it was like the rooftop.
Yeah, was it the rooftop when you guys were there?
No, and then it was just like the unaffiliated Aspen Comedy Festival.
Yeah, I did it when it was rooftop, but you're
okay.
right. Even then, it was they should have just called it "This can't help your career at all, but it's a free trip to Aspen."
Right.
Comedy
It was
Festival.
and they were great shows, and they got it was
fantastic.
obviously great comics. Clearly.
Right.
But just really quick on the baseball, because I don't know if Josh is aware that Johnny asked this question or not, but he texted because like Johnny is not a baseball guy, a sports guy at all. It's funny, since your kids have been playing baseball, it's like we talk about it almost all the time, and he's always texting me questions about baseball and like the rules.
Because I'm often like a third base coach and I need to know the answer, so I text
Like very
Andrew during
quickly,
the
like
innings.
immediately, he needs to know. So he asked me. They were at the game. He goes, "Hey, if it's the bottom of the ninth, and it's tied, and the team at bat hits like a home run with 0 outs, do they have to like keep playing until they get the third?" And I was
Well,
like,
they do that
"Johnny."
in basketball. I mean, let's say it's like 50-90. They still finish out the basketball.
I know,
game.
but basketball is timed. Baseball, it's innings based, But I was just like, imagine the humiliation of like, they hit the walk-off home run, and everybody's cheering like, "We won the game!" And they're like, "Yeah, and you still have to go get the 3 outs. So good luck."
I think it's funnier to picture Johnny asking these questions while he's coaching third base.
Yeah.
The kid's standing out of the box waiting for the signs. He's like, "Hold on, he's writing. Andrew's writing me back. I'll tell you.
Yeah, hang on. He's got.
I'll tell you if you need to bunt or not."
Yeah.
Andrew, how tiny is that chair you're sitting on? I feel like the peak steeple should be out further for a grown person's chair.
It's like a dining room chair, and you think I would have upgraded during the pandemic, but I haven't. I don't have it. Your chair looks incredible. You look like you have like a real gamer X chair, something I hear about on the podcast.
It's because I'm fat. This chair is made by Serta. What does that tell you about how comfortable this chair is?
Yeah, when your chair has a number.
Yeah, but it's got a tag I'm not allowed to remove from it.
Yeah.
It is super comfy though, and I did get it
looks...
during COVID because I was sitting down here a lot.
I know. I started. Did you do virtual shows, like stand-up shows?
No, I couldn't bring myself to do it, and those who could, all my hats off to you.
I
but,
did it.
Oh, I couldn't. I just.
Yeah,
how was it?
I started standing up, you know, and then I just immediately was like, "What am I doing?" and just sat down.
I think that's what everyone did. Everyone started like standing in front of their camera, and just as time went on, it was just like, "Yeah, I'm in a chair, just like you assholes." What are we talking about?
I heard that people learn like little tricks, like you had to tell people to unmute their mics so that you could hear them laughing to help out with your timing of the jokes and that sort of thing.
Yeah, there was a real art to it, you know. It's just like a regular comedy club. You had to like read some rules at the beginning, you know. But you know the real trick is I talked to these magicians. I was working with these magicians, and they did COVID shows virtually. They had like pre-taped shit. So like they were just like, "Hey, everybody, welcome to the show." And they did one trick where one of them goes to the kitchen and then he just hit a button. And it's like they would sell that to people. I was like, that's fucking genius.
That's hilarious. I did do one. It was like a charity benefit, and I told her, I said, I just don't want to do stand up, and she said, "Well, can we play a clip of your stand up?" And I said that was fine. So I gave them a clip from Dry Bar, and then they had me on live to introduce my own clip. And then they cut to the clip and came back, and I was like, "Thanks for having me on, guys." Oh God, I couldn't bring myself to do it. Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah. What a time.
I just feel like I need that energy from the live audience for like timing purposes, but maybe I just talked myself out of it.
Well, I need that too, but I also need that money from the companies.
Did it pay well?
Eventually, yeah. I mean, like
some of them.
It's funny because it started out and you would do them. I think I was with the comics who was just like so desperate that I was just doing them for friends. People I knew were like, they were charging like $5 a person or whatever, and I'd do some of those. But then like eventually they figured out how to sell them to like corporate clients and colleges and stuff, and they were paying the same rates. Wow. So it was like you'd go down and I was like, for colleges, I was like, I wish the virtual shows would come back. Like, I don't want to fly to Vermont and drive 45 minutes for one show and turn around and come home. You know, I just go in my basement and bomb for. And they were like shorter. You know, like if I'm gonna bomb, I might as well bomb at home. You know what I mean?
Bomb at home where my kids can listen by the steps.
Yeah. They're not gonna get this stuff anyway.
So. I hate like seeing people's I hate seeing people's faces. So I would have said unmute your mics, but turn off your cameras.
Just very aggressively, and you're like specifically like I need Gary and Suzanne to turn their cameras off. Your faces are distracting.
I did. I'm starting to remember some of the stuff I did agree to do. I did. Some company just wanted me to judge their Halloween costume contest, but they were all at home, but they were all dressed up on camera, and so I was like guessing what they were, and I was completely off. I thought this one guy was trying to be Arnold Schwarzenegger from Terminator 2, but he was actually trying to be John Travolta from Grease, and I don't know if I offended him or gave him a compliment, but it was just so funny to like, hey, this guy over here, you win.
Yeah. That's not that offensive, but if you had been like, hey, okay, let me see, you look like, is it the Penguin from Batman Returns? I'm like, no, I was trying to be.
I'm Tim Curry from Clue.
I was trying to be Batman. Oh, I just thought the weird eye and the
monocle.
I just thought that was very penguinish.
General round shape that I assume.
Oh gosh, I love you guys. This is what I love about both of you is that this is how the back and forth was immediately when I met you guys. I don't know if that's just a comic thing, because I feel like it might be, but the awkwardness of meeting someone is out of the way almost instantaneously, and you have such a similar lifestyle that you can relate. But then also when you say goodbye and then there's that gap of time before you see them again, you just pick up right where you left off.
Yeah, I think it's a comic thing for sure. I it's like, so we're all living in cities that aren't like, I mean, they're not comedy meccas, so to speak, because Johnny's in Madison, I'm in Portland, and you're in Cincinnati, right?
Yep.
Josh? Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, like, there's comics there, but, like, you don't hang as much as, like, I imagine the New York guys do or whatever.
I couldn't tell you who lives here.
Yeah, and the comics who live here, there's a lot of funny comics, but I feel like it's hard to, it's like you're speaking a different language sometimes, because you just have to have enough of the experiences to like have the shorthand and the, to talk about gigs and stuff. Yeah. And it's just, the hang is a little different. It's more like you just go, you do your set, you go, you try and, but it's, I miss some of the hangs, that's the best part of like those festivals and stuff that, you get to see and hang with all these comics.
Yeah. And during COVID, I got big into Clubhouse.
Yeah, I remember.
Played around with that or not?
Yeah.
But Scott Henry and I started this comedy lounge, and that's what we were trying to do, was just have a hang after a show kind of environment where everybody's like telling road stories, and and it even over audio with no video in completely different places, you can recreate that to some degree, and there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Do you guys still? Yeah, because I did that once. It was with you and Scott and maybe a handful of other people. But do you still do it, or
no?
No, it just fizzled.
Yeah, I think it was at a right place, right time for COVID, that everybody was trapped and alone and wanted to talk to people and couldn't be with them physically. I just I was curious. I didn't think it would go much past once COVID kind of cleared out.
It is amazing, like these social media apps or whatever, like you keep waiting for one to come along and displace the others, but it's like, because it was happening faster before. It was like there was like MySpace, then Facebook, then like Instagram, then Twitter, Now it's like the big ones kind of figured out to just scoop everything up quick. And so it's like very slow. Like TikTok is the only like new one that I can even think of that's hung around.
Yeah. I was on Friendster, which was before MySpace.
Wow. There you
That's
go.
how nerdy and old I am.
Oof. Friendster. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a conversation killer right there.
Yeah. I don't know.
Friendster. All right, we're out of time. Thanks for stopping by, Josh.
That's what I do at colleges now. I do my Friendster bit.
No, you know what? Chad Daniels, a mutual friend of ours, when I was getting what I felt to be too old to be doing the colleges, because my material, I don't know, I wanted to stick with my current material, in quotes, but that was not material that they wanted to hear. And he told me to just sort of flip it as though he was a cautionary tale for the college students with this, kind of, you don't think you'll need to know this yet, but it'll be here before you do. And it was like a nice segue into being able to do his current material without having to trying to relate to them.
I hate that because, like, I don't know, like if your college agent or whatever will tell you if you do one of those NACAs or something, they're like, they just want you to do the same set, They're like, do the set you did 7 years ago here. And you're like, I don't do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's like, I can't just pull those jokes out and like have them all fresh. Like, I haven't told those. It happened to me in Vegas at the LA Comedy Club. I was like the first 2 nights, and the owner came in and he was like, hey, do the stuff you did last time. Like, he didn't like my new stuff. I was like, I can't just, this is like 2 years ago. That's just going to be awful, like, so
I've been out on those for a long time. I just was like, that's a hard pass for
I'm
me.
kind of like getting that way. Unless they're like they hand them to you, it's like they're not worth chasing anymore.
Yeah, if somebody like sees your dry bar or something, is like, come do that act at our school, and we'll pay you this much. I'm like, okay, but I'm not gonna be like, hey guys, I had an 8 a.m. class last year too. Let's talk about it. It's the worst.
God, all these people hit me up on Friendster, randos.
That'd be if it was just full of references. I was at the movies last week. This Titanic, I tell you what.
How come she couldn't make room for him on the door? Like what, dude? I had a joke and it had a Speed reference in it. I had a bit with the movie Speed.
Yeah,
and not the drug, but the movie. both dated references, but the movie version. And I was like, wait a minute. And I was doing a college. I was like, wait, have you guys seen Speed? And they're like, no. And they're like, do you know what it is? And they're like, no. And I was like, ah. And then I was like, let me explain it. And then you're explaining the movie.
Pull out a VHS tape.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm like, why wouldn't he just blow up the butt? Why does it have to go 55 miles an hour?
What was your reference? Was it Pop Quiz Hot Shot?
It was like, I talk about people who hate jogging, or like who jog, but they look so miserable. And it's like, why are you doing this? Did a terrorist strap a bomb to you and tell you if you drop below 4 miles an hour, So it's like Speed 3, plantar fasciitis. That's the bit. And then they're just staring at each other like, what's Speed 3? And I was like, yeah, there was a Speed 2.
I didn't know there was 1 and 2. Yeah.
Cruise control.
It was even crazier.
That one was on a cruise ship. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
Jason Patrick.
The
star. He had
we
hot
old.
We're in the weeds.
Good Lord. Oh my gosh.
I told you my Oral Hershiser joke, right? That joke was old when I wrote it.
I think you did, but tell it again. This is a baseball themed.
Yeah, that was podcast. When my Oral Hershiser joke was when I was little. I'm not good at baseball, but when I was little, he was my favorite. I had to like act like he was my favorite player. He was my favorite player. Had his posters and everything, and then I would talk about like, what kind of a name is Oral Hershiser? It sounds like something you do to someone at a frat party after they fall asleep. And it's like, hey, everybody's asleep. I shit in his mouth or something. Oh, I saw your eyes open, you faker. Like the guy wanted you to shit in his mouth or something. I don't know.
Wait, what is this?
It really took a lot of turns.
What is that? Wait a minute. So is it an Oral Hershiser to shit in somebody's mouth?
Yeah, it sounds like something you do to someone, and then I act it out. But as I'm acting it out, I'm acting like another guy at the party. He's like, hey, his eyes are open. He's faking it.
So there was like extra levels to the
exactly.
Oral Hershiser bit.
I did not think we would get into Oral Hershiser poop in a mouth at a party joke on this, but I'm glad we did.
Welcome to the calorie.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen. We got Liquid Death, sponsor of the calorie.
Right? Yeah, heck yeah.
Wow, it's taking over the world.
Here we go.
It's the best.
Baby.
Johnny's sponsored by Liquid Death.
I tried to get a Dots Pretzel as sponsorship. They're my guilty pleasure, but I did get the Liquid Death gift box.
Yeah,
a couple of times. It's pretty nice.
I'm the only
Andrew,
one.
I'm gonna make a call. We'll make that happen.
Make a call. I'm more interested in Diet Coke, but I'll drink the cans of water if they send it to me.
Well, if the son of a comedy club owner becomes an executive at Diet Coke, we might be able to make that happen.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to imagine a son of a comedy club owner ever becoming successful enough to become an executive at Diet Coke, but you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Well, man. Wait, Johnny.
I have a question. I have a baseball question.
Huh?
I have a baseball question.
Oh, go ahead.
You specifically told me I couldn't bring up baseball.
I know, but then you acted all. You were very humble, and you admitted that they have a terrible record, and the Mariners and the Brewers are better.
Well, the
teams.
Mariners, we were so bad that the Mariners took like 8 of our players.
Yeah.
So, and they're starting there.
The Mariners are desperately trying to make the playoffs for the first time in 20 years. So we're going for it, baby.
Yeah. I'm pulling for the Mariners. And then the Brewers are in first place in their division and trade their all-star closer at the trade deadline.
Oh, yeah, Johnny. Someone kept commenting on the closer on my – I posted a picture of my kid at the field, and they're like, oh, the closer. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
What's your baseball question? I got to hear what your baseball question is.
This is going to be great.
What's the point of a Major League Baseball coach? Like, you hit the ball. Like, why do they have a coach? It's not like, all right, guys, we're going to do the fly pattern, or, hey, we're going to do this. It's like, hit the ball, run. The player just decides what they do, right? I mean, I was thinking at the game, I was like, why is there even a coach? It pretty much just runs itself.
Couldn't you say that about basketball?
No, because it's like, oh, we got 3 seconds. Okay, here's the play we're going to do. Every play in baseball is try to hit the ball real far. And then if you do, go to the spot you're supposed to go after you hit it. You know?
I think on the one hand, I do think there is a little more like in football, for instance. I'm going to back you up here, Johnny, because in football, I think you can make a team better with a great coach more easily than you can in baseball. Like if you have a crappy team in baseball, I don't think a manager can change their fortunes if the talent isn't there that much. I mean, they can affect things at the margins by like pitcher management and, shifts and stuff like that. But I mean, you're kind of right in the sense like everyone's kind of doing the same thing strategy-wise now. Like they all have the same reports and scouting reports and everything. But in football, I think there is more like strategy-based advantages.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're talking like manager. Like I'm talking coach. Like I'm literally.
Well, the manager is.
Yeah, but that's what the coach in baseball is called, is the manager.
Yeah.
Oh.
They also have like
guy?
They have like hitting coaches that work on like literally teaching people.
Yeah, but I assume like if you're in the major leagues, you don't need to practice you don't need a coach to tell you, I'll get that elbow up,
You do. You really do.
Wow.
Well, then I wish I had a better answer for you. I would love to blame the manager for.
But that happens in baseball all the time where like it is. This is where I'm agreeing with you, Johnny. Is like they'll like the Angels like lost 10 games in a row and something, and then they're like, okay, we better fire the manager. It's like it didn't change anything, Like
right.
It's not his fault. It's like if they had won 10 games in a row, it wasn't because of him either. Like, yeah. And then the Mariners used to do that all the time. Like the whole team is batting like 180, so they'll fire the hitting coach. Like, yeah, these guys aren't going to get better. It's not like some new guy is going to come in and give them talent. But again, I think they can affect things at the margins, maybe with like,
even morale, morale to a degree.
Yeah, like
that's true. That's true.
And it's like Major League. They need like a woman that they can take pieces of her clothing off every time they win a game, and that's every manager's strategy.
I'll move on from baseball, but you were talking about the Angels. I saw a really funny Angels meme the other day. It said every Angels recap is like, Shohei Ohtani did something that hasn't been done since 1925, and Mike Trout had 3 home runs as the Angels lose to the Mariners 8-4.
It's so true. I mean, like, they have the 2 best, most exciting players, probably the most famous players in baseball. Like Shohei Ohtani is like modern Babe Ruth, like best player in the league probably now. Mike Trout has been the best player in the league for like the last few years. And that's where baseball is unique too. Like in basketball, if you had like LeBron James and Carmelo and Kevin Durant or whatever, or Steph Curry, you're going to go to the playoffs every year. Like there's no question. If you have the top 2 players in the league, you will go to the playoffs. Baseball is just not like that.
It's the salary cap. It's the one thing baseball is missing that all the other sports have that makes it competitive across the board is a salary cap.
Yeah,
because you just sit around and wait for the Dodgers and the Yankees
to scoop them up.
All right, I'll let it go. I will let it go.
And Johnny, you traded your closer.
You traded.
How could you even bring your kids to the game?
I blame the coach.
What is the closer? I don't even know what that means. Who is the closer?
That's the guy, you know, the door at the stadium. That's the guy who shuts the door.
The headliner.
Yeah.
The last guy on stage.
Yeah. It's like one of those headliners who doesn't really draw, but they just go last, you know? And then that's the closer.
Yeah.
It's like one of those LA shows where there's like 9 comics and the guy who goes last calls himself a headliner, but really he's just closing the show. That's the closer.
That's hilarious.
No, it's the guy they bring in when they have a lead out of the bullpen in the bottom of the ninth or the top of the ninth, whatever, and they need three last outs typically, and that this is like their best bullpen guy, this is like who they save for these moments.
To bat or to pitch?
To pitch.
To pitch.
Ah, okay. Okay. If I was the coach, I would just have him pitch the whole game if he's so good. But anyway, that's
you're kind of like hit on little moments of geniuses, because when the Mariners were in the Lou Piniella days, like when I was a kid, they were like had really good offensive teams, like great hitters, but then they would blow these games in the 9th inning all the time. And there was an idea that Lou Piniella, he was going to start bullpen guys like closers and in the beginning of the game when there's like less pressure, and then bring in like Randy Johnson or whatever in the 3rd or 4th inning to like close out the game.
I believe Joe Madden tried that.
Did he really?
In Tampa or maybe in Chicago. He tried.
See, Johnny, you're on the cutting edge.
Yeah.
Look at that.
But baseball has become all about statistics, and they say that statistically the last 3 outs of the game are no harder to get than the first 3 outs of the game. But that's where I believe that the emotional and the mental fortitude come into play of someone who doesn't get rattled in high pressure situations.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, there's been like a move to bring in your closer earlier. If like Mike Trout is in the 7th inning and there's 2 guys on base, you're like, this is the ball game here. So to bring in your best guy now rather than waiting till the 9th or something. But I don't know how many. I don't watch. I mean, I'm talking about baseball like I watch every game, but I'm trying to watch the Mariners as much as I can. And like, but most of these
fun,
players,
man. They're really fun.
Yeah, I'm playing catch up. I know guys when their kids are, like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I'm like, oh yeah, all right. I waited long enough and I'm back. I know who this guy is. Yeah. And again, we're old. Hey. Oh, right. Do you have to read that thing?
Do you want to? Should we read it?
Read what?
So, Josh, you mentioned talking about the text hack, or people like it's like a
yeah,
was it a scam?
Yeah, I don't remember who you guys were talking to. It might have just been you two, but I was listening to some of your previous episodes, and you were talking about the text hack. Yeah.
We have not had a guest in many episodes due to popular demand.
We kind of swore off guests for a while.
What happened?
But you broke the mold.
Well,
all right, you don't have to talk about it.
Don't read the comments. But hey, so Johnny has been engaging with one of these scammers now for like weeks.
Well, yeah, because Andrew like brought up the topic. I'd never heard of that, where they're like they text you and it's a scam.
The wrong number scam.
Yeah. So then I'll get these texts and I'll send a screenshot to Andrew of like, hey, fuck you, I'm on the toilet, or that's my response to them. And it's like, no, Johnny, that's a charity you donated to, and they're just trying to get you to stay, So I'd like send them my responses.
They're like, save the orphans, and Johnny's like, hey, this fucking scam is going again. Like, no, they were just trying to save orphans.
Because I've never had the actual scam. And then this lady wrote to me, and she was like, hey, are we meeting at the restaurant tonight? And I was like, oh, here we go. This is a legit one. And so I just was like messing with her, but we've been like chatting for 2 weeks.
It's like working.
Are you serious?
No, it's like, well, it was started on, oh yeah, that's the thing. Because it's like this lady, she says she's some woman from Indonesia. And I hand my wife my phone because we were on a trip at the lake, and she's taking pictures with my camera. And I'm getting texts from some lady. It's like, I like Indian food. Do you? And she's like, what is this?
But you're having a full actual back and forth conversation, because I was under the impression that these were like bots that no matter what I replied, I was going to get an automatic response from them to keep the conversation going. But you're saying yours is like a real person who is actually replying to you?
I think.
I mean, yeah. Let's
times,
read it.
Because I've gotten where they get mad at me, and then they're like, they cuss me out and stuff. So I know sometimes they're not bots. I think you're right though. Sometimes they are just bots, and then they give up if you don't give up your like social security information immediately. But I also just don't know how does it work. Like, I would love to hear the success stories of it. Like, what is the transition to like, hey, you got a wrong number, to actually getting bank account information?
Yeah, I mean, I would guess it's preying on old people who don't know better.
Yeah.
You know, the same people who think that their grandson is in jail and needs money sent to the Western Union at a Walmart in Peoria or something.
Wait, so Johnny, do you want to read us?
All right, do you want to read it? It'll go quick because it's just a text. Like, each screenshot is a page.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to be?
Who should I be?
You be the girl. All right. Should I be me, or do you want to be me, Josh?
Oh, I'm reading one of the parts.
No, if you want, that's up to you. Do you want to be? Okay. It's in both your emails. All right. So this will be fun. This will be me watching you guys read my conversation.
Okay. I'll be the starter, the white text.
Yeah.
Okay.
The light text. Tell me when you're ready, Josh.
Okay, I've got it up now.
Okay. Hi, Lisa. A new restaurant has opened near my house. Let's try it out tonight.
What time?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I fucked it up already. Because this is a very funny broken English thing. Let's try it out at night.
What time?
Sorry, I misremembered a number. Hope I'm not disturbing you.
Not at all. What's the plan?
Planning to try the new restaurant tomorrow. How about you? I just had my dinner.
OMG. Same.
I had beef.
Johnny.
Vegetable salad, rice, and Korean kimchi. Coincidence? Ha 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 ha.
LOL.
My name is Rachel. May I know your name?
Andrew. I love that he gave him your name.
Hello, Andrew. Yeah, wait, do you give a lot of information in here? What the hell? Hello, Andrew.
Oh, hi, Rachel.
I like to make new friends so that they can communicate with each other to learn some of their unfamiliar knowledge.
That's so smart.
Haha, do you like making new friends?
Oh, totally. Do you?
Yes, I like meeting new people too. Introduce myself. Like a to-do list. I'm a single mother.
It's like a stage direction that she's reading on purpose.
Introduce myself. Oh, yeah, shit. Okay. I am a single mother. I have 2 children. The oldest is 7 years old, and the youngest is 5 years old. I am a Singaporean. I have lived in New York for 10 years. I am 42 years old. I'm a clothing designer. I have a company that produces clothing.
I am a married father of 6 children. I sell no soliciting signs door to door. Am the co-host of a highly successful podcast. Love to cook, and was just diagnosed with a condition where every time I eat starchy food, I get really bad diarrhea. Do you have hobbies?
Yes. I like travel, food, exercise, reading, yoga, cooking. I usually trade Bitcoin futures with my aunt as well. Here we go.
What's Bitcoin?
Oh, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency that can be used for physical purchases and payments instead of cash. Bitcoin has been a hot topic and in the news for the last few years, and it's something everyone in the U.S. already knows about.
Oh, wow. I don't know how I missed that. I should bring it up on my podcast. So is it like Apple Pay or more like PayPal?
Haha, but it's not too late to learn that there is no late start. It is an electronic digital transaction, A peer-to-peer transaction. I don't know.
Oh my God. I'm scrolling ahead. There's like 15 more pages of it.
It gets better.
Transactions and payments to be made from anywhere. I think you can check what is Bitcoin first or buy some books to see cryptocurrency.
Hold on. I'm literally still scrolling back up to find out. That sounds a little over my head. Roll on the floor laughing. Do you like food? Do you like food?
Yes, I like all foods. Almost no taboos. Everyone has their own area of expertise. Just like your expertise, I don't understand either. When there is time, I'm introducing you to more knowledge about Bitcoin.
I am kind of a foodie myself.
Haha, I am also a foodie. I like steak, pasta, seafood, Chinese food, Korean kimchi, Japanese food. Seems that we have many common hobbies. If it is convenient to add a common contact information so that it is also convenient for us to communicate with each other.
I just can't eat starchy food.
Understand that many people have some kind of food allergy. My child cannot eat seafood. Eat seafood, itching all over the body.
Oh, it's not an allergy. It is a weird condition. I can't remember the name of it, but when I eat it, it gives me really messy diarrhea.
Yes, many people cannot eat starch directly or consume too much.
I have never heard of it before, but for me, it's bad. Real bad. Do you have any foods that do that to you?
Yes. From now on, no starch will do.
What happens?
I'm going to wash up now. Do you have WhatsApp or other chat apps? Because you eat starch, your stomach will be uncomfortable.
What is WhatsApp? Is it like Bitcoin?
It's a chat app. Haha. How do you usually communicate with your friends or family?
Oh no, my wife just gave me a bunch of starchy foods. She's always pranking me like this. I gotta get inside now.
Good. Andrew, send me a message when you have time. It's very interesting to talk to you.
So that was day one.
That was all the first day.
The next day, I wake up to this next text.
Good morning, Andrew. Did you sleep well last night?
Not at all. I was on and off the toilet all night thanks to my wife's silly prank. I think it's all out now, but I'll bet it'll be chapped all day. How was your night?
Yes, I had a good dream. I ate breakfast. My breakfast was ham, egg cake, fruit, and milk. How old are you? And why is your wife like that?
I'm 77 years old, but my wife is 28. I think the younger generation is just really into pranking and stuff, you know? That's how she shows affection. Last week on our anniversary, she put saran wrap over the toilet seat, and I almost had a heart attack. She was laughing so hard. I guess it was kind of funny. It was probably funnier for her because she didn't have to clean up the mess. How old are you?
Yes, young people are more energetic, so that you are also 28 years old, mind. 42. She's like really giving up here. Older people have more life experience. As young people, if they don't follow the guidance, they tend to take detours and waste more of their youth.
That's very wise of you to say.
Thank you. Can I hear your love story with your wife? I think it's a perfect fit.
I talk about it a lot on my podcast. We actually met 12 years ago at a party.
Great. Are you mostly posting your work on the podcast now? You live a retired life.
I do. Yeah, I pretty much retired. The door-to-door selling pretty much a passion project. I used to be a doctor, but lost my license to practice. It's a whole big thing.
Andrew, it looks like you have a full life and a busy day.
And it keeps going.
Oh, wait. God. Good evening, Andrew. How are you doing today?
Hi, Rachel. I am just okay. How are you?
I'm fine. I had dinner. I went to work out today and did yoga. I ate chicken, rice, fruit. I just looked at the Bitcoin market for a while. This is the Bitcoin market chart. There's a picture of a chart.
It looks like my heart monitor.
Haha. The child woke me up. You talk very funny and humorous. We calculate in the evening that there is a futures trade to buy up Bitcoin tomorrow.
I had diarrhea all night last night.
Why? You've eaten badly again? You should find a diet specialist that.
I know I should. The problem is I slept through the night. I think my wife put starchy food in my dinner last night. We've been arguing because she wants to bring another man into the bedroom with us. God. I think I'm too old for those kind of shenanigans, but she keeps telling me how cute she thinks my friend Harvey is. He's 68. I can't compete with that.
This is a very serious issue, and I think you should figure out that. Your wife chose to stay with you because of what reason? Of course, if it is convenient.
She used to tell me she loves me because I was such a good doctor.
Great. So are you retired now that? Doctors are a great profession.
It was sort of a forced retirement. I'm not exactly legally supposed to talk about it. You wouldn't tell anyone, right?
Of course. We are friends. I will help you keep this a secret. Do you have your own private practice? Are you a surgeon, by the way? Did I ever tell you that I'm a clothing designer and I also have a company that produces clothing? I think she did tell us that.
Yeah. She did. I used to have my own practice. I was doing surgery on a kid, and after he was all sewed up, I realized I had left a tool inside of him. I decided to just not say anything.
Why? You should get this tool out. Does this job affect the child's life? She's like honestly concerned.
I know. That's why I was getting like.
She wants to know if she's legally required to contact the authorities. I was scared I would get in trouble. I was hoping nothing would happen. The kid is fine now. Another doctor at another hospital took it out a few days later. It was a hammer.
Very good. As long as the child is fine, everything is fine. After this incident, are you not a shell doctor?
What's a shell doctor?
The doctor is a surgeon.
I lost my license. I lost my practice. I lost everything. That's when I decided to make the door-to-door sales my full-time gig.
Great. How long have you been a doctor?
As long as I can remember.
Then you start selling what products?
I sell no soliciting signs. So funny. Most people in my neighborhood already had one, but I tried to sell them a better one.
What kind of product is it? I don't think she's getting it. That sounds good.
You wouldn't believe how many angry people get when you are just trying to help them, especially new moms.
Great. I like to help people. I do a lot of charity. I help stray wild animals find new homes.
That is so great. You seem like a nice person.
I help underprivileged children by buying food, buying clothes, and funding the construction of their schools. Thank you. My heart is comforted when I see which poor children are helped.
I apologize. I have just been talking about myself this whole time. My plan is for my business to expand so that I can open an office and then franchise it out to make money while other people do the work. I don't have any schooling background, but I'm street smart.
Every time I make a profit on a Bitcoin futures trade, I donate a portion of my profits to people in need or to charities. Great. How long have you been doing this? Will your children help you?
My family didn't believe in schooling. My mother always said that's the devil's playground when talking about education. I should reach out to my children and ask them. That's a great idea. Thanks, Rachel.
Yes, education is always good. Let us see more things to learn more skills. I think you should enjoy your life and not have to work.
Hey, is it all right if I ask my wife to take a picture of me and send it to you?
Okay, thanks.
Johnny sent a stock image of some old man with his head in his hands.
It looks like his whole family has been murdered, and he just found out.
That picture is so great.
And I like it how I'm the one that asked if I could send it to her.
And then she says, I'm ready for breakfast now. Have you had your breakfast? My breakfast. And she sent a picture of, it looks like stir fry with shrimp.
That looks good. Is it starchy?
No, I don't eat starch. You look very refreshed. I just finished my breakfast.
And then Johnny said, how was your day, Rachel? Got no response.
I think she finished.
And then 4 hours later, He said, well, I'll tell you about my day. Let's just say if they wrote a book about my life, it would be called A Sloppy Brown Wet Mess Down Both Legs, the Andrew Story.
And we're still waiting a response.
22 pages. That was 22 pages.
And you even pranked us because you said, don't worry, it'll be quick. We were like out of time now.
What a jerk. No wonder you don't have any guests on. They're just an excuse to read your pilot.
There's a Simpsons joke where they're like, Homer's playing peekaboo and they're like, I've never seen the baby get sick of peekaboo before the adults. And that's what happened here. The scammer got sick of this before you did. You had more time and energy.
Yeah.
She was like, this is just boring.
Oh my God. The only time I ever responded, I didn't know what it was. I literally thought it was a mistake. And someone said, the first text said, hey, I'm thinking about making one of those desserts from the party last night. Which one should I make? And I just wrote back, I'm sorry, I think you have the wrong number. And then they responded, oh, I'm so sorry. I thought that this was somebody else. What's your name? And I didn't respond. And then they send a picture of a girl in like a bustier, like this is me. And so I just wrote back brownies.
Oh my God. Well,
we
got to get into it.
What do you need backup on?
Back?
I gotta
back you up, Josh,
the whole time.
Oh my God, it was really funny though.
Now I'm glad.
It's better than the photos that you texted me for years.
What?
Oh,
if he doesn't remember,
no, I know what it is.
It was either shit or my balls.
Well, yeah, of course.
It was the prior. It was constantly just a full toilet bowl. Check out these new Jordans I got. Here's a picture of my poop.
You should start your own scam, Johnny, where you just text that to random numbers and see if
have you guys ever talked about his Christmas cards? He is legendarily the best Christmas card sender.
We've talked about it, and then like the pressure he's under now to
oof.
Yeah.
A lot of years under the belt.
Oh man,
to up
so
the
good.
ante.
So I wrote down a couple. Do you guys want to hear them all and then pick one to back me up on?
Sure.
Since we're out of time.
Rudely.
One of them is something that just I got reminded of today, and that is I wish people would quit acting like every celebrity that passes away changed their life somehow.
Oh yeah,
that's a
right.
Good one.
Like
that is a good one.
God loved Olivia Newton-John. I'm sorry that she's gone, but I saw 5 posts. This one hurts.
This one,
I'm like, I don't know that her children would write this one. Like, it's Olivia Newton-John. I mean, come on.
But it's also like very insulting to previous celebrities. Like, this one hurts.
Yeah. I was fine with all the other ones, but
I was fine when
Russell
Tom Petty died, but
I'm okay with that. But this is
all right. So that was one of them that you could back me up on. The other one is and this is the one I told to John earlier. Everything has cheese on it already, and I have to be the guy who doesn't like cheese and ask them I want a hamburger. I don't want a cheeseburger, but there's never a hamburger on the menu. It's always a cheeseburger. And I have to tell them all the things I want them to take off. And then I seem like a jerk, even though I feel like I'm doing them a favor by not having them put as many different things on the sandwich.
I can't get into that one.
You can't order a hamburger at McDonald's?
I mean, you can say it, but if you look at the menu, it's just cheeseburgers. It's quarter pounder with cheese. It's cheeseburgers. It's a Big Mac. It's already got cheese on it. Sorry. All right, back me up on this. White privilege. No, I'm just kidding. I thought it'd be really funny if I had like a super serious one, and you guys are like,
Josh, we don't really.
suggestions to tip everywhere. I'm so over like the given the option of like, would you like to leave a gratuity?
And it's like I can get into that. It's so awkward now, like in the era of the iPad
checkout. Yeah.
Because the worst part is when they turn it and they're like, it's gonna ask you a couple questions.
That's right.
Do you know what those questions are?
It's too delicate to say, like, leave me a tip, asshole. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna prompt you. I wonder if it's gonna be what's my favorite color. I wonder what the question is.
They did that at the baseball game. I bought a $20 bobblehead for Duncan, and they don't take cash, by the way. I tried to pay cash, like, no, we have to do cards. And then it's like, which tip do you want? 10%, 15%, 20%? I'm like, are you kidding?
Yeah, you have to hit the other button to get to zero.
At the store, the team store, to buy a bobblehead. I got to tip this person. That's just transaction.
My wife and I started rewatching Curb Your Enthusiasm from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that show should be like a companion piece to your podcast, because every single show it's like, you know what? I hate when people do that too. And I wish somebody like Larry David was around to be like, you know what? You're right. You shouldn't do that or say that. Or
the other thing about the tipping thing, I heard that a lot of times when it's the electronic tip, like the iPad tip, nobody's seeing that. Like, it's not like, hey, they did do a great job, I'm gonna tip them $4. They don't, like, it's all going to some corporation, and then who knows if it trickles down to the actual. So really, if you want a tip, like, cash is the only way to ensure that.
And I feel like it should be for good service, like to where the point you're like, you know what, this person deserves a little something extra. And we were opening a store for our t-shirt company, and I had to go buy like 6 shelving units from Costco. And this dude like got them down for me, got them out the door, loaded them into my car. And I was like, you know what, this dude, and I pull it out and he goes, we can't accept tips. And I'm like, this is the greatest day of my life. This is a great, like, I was actually ready
tell him that?
Awesome. Like, no one is going to make
your misery and Costco's draconian tipping policy has made my day awesome.
Oh my gosh, I love this place.
I have even more money now. You're just waving it around.
And you don't.
I just gave it to the lady next to me, like, here, I tried to give this to him.
Just another customer. Like, I got to give this to somebody. Guess I'll light it on fire in front of you. And
am I a jerk for feeling that way? But it's just like, no, everybody wants a tip, and it's like, dude.
Yeah, you're not a jerk. I think I'm a coward with it. I'm like if I got like at a restaurant, if I got the best service I've ever had, you know, I'm like 20%. You know what I mean? But if they screw up my order really bad and, like, you know, call me a dumbass and pour coffee on my lap, it's 20%. Like, there really isn't any sort of negotiation. I'm just like, I know the number that won't get me in trouble with anybody, and that's what everybody's gonna get. I just look at it as like, that's the amount.
100%, 100% for the service industry, right? But it's
but
like,
that's the tricky part. Like, where is, like, bobbleheads, I'm kind of shocked that they asked, like, because if you don't tip at Home Depot, you know, like, on the self-checkout.
Give it time. Give it time.
Yeah.
But what about that, like, weird gray area, like a Panera or a Chipotle or something, where it's like you're doing most of the work, right, of carrying the food to your table and cleaning up after yourself by dumping it and putting your tray up, that kind of thing. So there's really no service other than them making your meal, which I feel like you're paying for by paying for your meal.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. It's like, it doesn't seem fair to, like, the fine dining waiter who's, like, suggesting wines
back and forth
really
to your table for your 8 Coke Zero refills.
And then you're like, the Chipotle guy who's scooping chicken into the bowl gets the same. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, but like I said, I'm a coward. It's like that button comes up, I'm just hitting the it's just 20.
No matter where it is.
No matter where, if I see it, it's hitting 20 every time. The only time I don't is when I'm sure that it's like or I'm like pretty confident it's some sort of scam, or like not a scam, but that it's not going to the person. And then if I either try to do, if I have cash, I try to do cash, or I just don't.
Yeah, I would do that in the past, where if I really wanted to make sure my server got the tip, like whether I felt like they needed it or I was worried they wouldn't get it, I would go out of my way to hand the cash to them after I had paid the bill.
It is funny that like a company would ever say we don't accept tips. Like, what is the point of that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, why wouldn't Costco let?
I wish more would do it though.
Very few people are gonna tip at Costco. You know, it's like a grocery store. They're not, or whatever. It's like not a tipping place. So,
right.
What's the point? Like, why? I mean, what are they worried is gonna happen? You know, when I worked at Best Buy, every once in a while, someone would I would do carryouts, you know, and carry their TV, and every once in a while someone would tip me. I don't know if we had a policy or not. There probably was a policy, but I'm not like making like $9 an hour at Best Buy. I'm not going to turn down a tip. Are you kidding?
Right.
I think when I'm selling merch and CDs after show, I'm gonna give them my phone now. There's gonna be a question on here. If you could just
the lack of shame for people who just want money. We just got back from our family vacation driving to South Carolina, and I saw multiple cars with written on the window, going to cheerleading nationals, buy us some pizza, here's our Venmo, and it's like written on the back window of the car, or or dad needs a drink with the in a car full of women, dad needs a drink, buy me a beer, here's my Venmo. It's like, Jesus.
Just the lazy. Yeah, everyone's a panhandler now.
Wow.
You ever had a homeless person tell them you could give them money through Venmo or PayPal? You don't have any change?
I don't think I've ever seen that, actually. That's a good idea.
They've got to be furious when a car pulls up next to them with a, "Hey, I'm a dad, I need a beer, here's my Venmo."
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're like, I've never seen that. We do live in this world now where like everything is like a GoFundMe. You know what I mean? Like, they're not all created equal. Like, sometimes it's like, you just got to be careful, because sometimes they're like, somebody did have like these tragic experiences and you definitely want to help out. And then other times,
right.
It's like, I need a new guitar. Like when someone get like I'm sorry your guitar got stolen, but it's like it's not exactly like a charity I'm going to donate to for lost guitars.
Johnny's like, I'd try to help you out, but I'm upside down on this Bitcoin I bought from a lady in Thailand.
I swear to God, that's where this is heading. He's actually, Johnny, you actually are going to buy some Bitcoin at some point from this woman. I guarantee you. But
you think that's her angle?
Well, of course. Well, no. The angle is that you send her money to buy Bitcoin on your behalf, and then I don't think she will actually follow through on it. Would be my guess.
Maybe that'll that's how I'll wake up the conversation. I'll be like, "Hey, what was that Bitcoin you were talking about?" And then when she starts talking, I'll go back to diarrhea.
It's also like barely more of a scam than actual Bitcoin.
See if you can find more stock images of that same guy, or maybe even just like because his face is hidden in his hand, so you can find another guy with white hair. But see if you can find like some ripped old dude, with like a young wife or something, to be like, listen, I didn't hear back from you, so I just went and bought Bitcoin from somebody else, and it was the best decision I have ever made.
So
I got
rich.
my license back.
My wife loves me again.
Just make her feel like, because you were so close, and she finally said, all right, I'm done with this guy, and then the next day you went and got scammed.
Oh, the picture you should send? Remember in like the in-flight magazines?
Yes, I did.
The Nugenics guy or whatever, and he had like old man glasses and
like
the
Santa Claus.
Yeah, but then he was like the most ripped dude. Find that picture and send that. That would make me laugh.
Mall. That's so funny. That was the most disturbing picture.
And he
had on
jeans.
He must have
made a fortune.
he was on jeans and a belt.
Yeah.
Like, did you just get done working out in your jeans?
That's right.
And a belt. Oh,
it was like God. It was supposed to be like sexy or something, like a 50 Shades of Grey or something. but it was so off-putting because they went out of their way to show him being old. So
Right.
they made sure he wore like Santa Claus glasses and had the U-shaped balding pattern and the gray hair. So like it was very it was very off-putting.
It's so funny that you remember that. It's like I remember that picture and then the little hot dog maker. You know what I'm talking about? Where it would just cook like 2 hot dogs and 2 buns, and it looked like a tiny hot dog stand that sat on your counter. Those are like the 2 things I remember from Sky Mall.
Has anybody replaced that sort of like Sharper Image store business where they just sell future devices that never actually were going to be part of the future? You know? That chair you're in looks like it could have come from the Sharper Image, actually.
Oh man, maybe. I bought stuff from there, was always disappointed. It's so accurate.
You just thought, you were sure it was going to be like, oh yeah, there's going to be robot dogs or something, and then they never quite panned out.
Oh man, you guys are the best.
I saw a thing online too, like it was like this woman, she's an archaeologist, and she took this picture of it was like an old CD rack on the side of the road, and she's like, in 100 years, imagine people trying to figure out what this was. It was like such a specific design. It can only hold CDs. Right?
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
That's all it's good for. There's no space on the top. It can only hold CDs. Like people will just be like racking their brains, like, what was this? What was it for? It only had one job, and it only lasted for like 10 years.
Oh my God, I had a couple of those back in the Columbia House BMG days.
Oh yeah,
just loading up on Color Me Bad and Silk CDs. I don't know how many different ways to date how old I am.
I had
checking my Friendster while I'm listening to Babyface Unplugged.
Babyface Unplugged. I'm still selling DVDs on the road. I don't give a shit.
Are you really?
Yeah. I just make a joke out of it. And people buy them like as a goof. It's like all ironic.
I used to make a joke out of the CDs. Same thing.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, sir. You point that guy in the front. Sorry, sir. I'm fresh out of 8 tracks or cassettes or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I've made a joke with the T-shirts, everything. Say this is a T-shirt, or this guy can use it as a gas cap for his pickup truck. Whatever you want. Bye.
Gotta move that merch.
We are whores.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
Well, man, this went so fast.
Did it?
Well,
or was it that story?
Was reading.
Well, that did take up a lot of time.
I was just kidding. Dude, I'll always hang out with you guys. This is so fun.
Do you have, Josh, do you have stuff you want to promote? Do you have anything people should know about?
Tour. So I've been taking summers off the last couple years from doing stand-up. It's been really great to be home and do dad stuff. So stand-up starts back for me again this week. It's got some corporate stuff, but I'll be in Toledo at the Funny Bone in September, the Punchline in Atlanta September, Cincinnati Funny Bone in November. Got some random dates that'll be on the website. Vegas early next year.
The website, is it just joshsneed.com?
joshsneed.com. Yeah.
SNEED.
Double E. That's right.
Check it out. Thanks, man. It's great to
Hey, thank you guys. I don't get to talk to either
on.
one of you enough.
I know.
Man.
This was fun. It was a good excuse to catch up.
Oh, hey, I got to ask, when does my episode of The Detention drop?
That dropped several years ago.
Did you
it
put it
was
out?
like a decade ago. Yeah. It's been so long that it has been removed by iTunes for being up too long. Actually,
I remember after we recorded that, I was like, "Oh, I gotta check to see if it's up." And you must have had like a backlog, so that you could take time off and release them, because it did not come out right away.
Well, it did come out, but I will tell you this: somehow I let the domain name expire, and someone snagged it. And so it caused all these issues with like the episodes that had already been uploaded, and I couldn't get the domain name back.
Oh,
and it was like all attached, like I would upload it to the website and then it would push it out to like iTunes and stuff. And yeah, I still have them somewhere, but they've been offline for a while because of whatever.
I like that Johnny was hanging on to this grievance for 10 years.
I forgot about it. I was going to bring it up right out of the gate.
And then it wasn't even correct.
Is that why I don't get poop pictures anymore? It's because you've been holding a grudge against me for not releasing the time we shared together in Des Moines or wherever it was.
I think
we shot Beaner's Beans in Des Moines.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
You're lucky. I've never seen one of Johnny's shits. He's never sent one to me.
Well, I got plenty if you want them.
He saves them.
It looks a lot like the dinner plate that lady from Thailand sent him.
I don't want secondhand. I don't want sloppy
secondhand deuces. Oh my God! All right, I'll quit boring people.
Let's wrap it up, folks.
All right.
Johnny, did you have anything, or should we just get out?
I'm at a bunch of different venues in Madison this week, and that's already over by the time this comes out. So just JohnnyBeaner.com. It looks just like AndrewSlater.com. And me and Andrew have like the same.
Let's talk about that on the post show. Okay. I don't know if we were about that. All right. Thank you for listening to
The Cavalry.